All right, welcome to day number 4 of our 16-week program. So this is still phase 1. Phase 1 is laying a foundation with calisthenics, body weight only exercises. So keeping this same workout split all the way through the 16 weeks. And so today is going to be a shoulder day. So before we jump into our exercises, like all our workouts, these are full-length workouts, uncut, so you're seeing everything from beginning to end, including my warm-up. So we're going to start right there with a warm-up. Grabbing an extra light resistance band. Since we're doing shoulders, obviously we want to warm up shoulders, but I do include a shoulder warm-up in all upper body movements because whether we're doing chest press, shoulder press, rows, it doesn't matter. You're engaging the shoulders. So we want to make sure that we really strengthen those, bulletproof our shoulders. And that's a lot of what this program is all about. So here we go. Anchoring that band under our feet about shoulder width apart, grabbing the band about shoulder width apart. We're going to raise to the front about eye height. And then we're going to do a little pull apart. Someone's trying to call me. Let me put that on silent. I guess we're going to have to put that on do not disturb. There we go. It's actually good little tip right there. When you're working out, put your phone on do not disturb. All it takes is one phone call of someone jabbering for 15, 20 minutes to ruin your workout. So we're going to do these nice and controlled. Nice, slow tempo. So in this portion right here in the front, this is more anterior delt, which is the front of the shoulder. This is more rear delt. So this is really firing the shoulder all the way around. Most of these movements do anywhere from 10 to 15 reps. All right, let's do one more here. Nice. Now a little rotator cuff hack that I always do. If you haven't watched any of these before, I really do recommend going back to day 1. You can follow this from the beginning. You can find the series. It's a playlist called Uncut because they're uncut workouts. So same drill as I showed before. Workout towel about shoulder width apart with your grip, palms facing in, tuck those elbows, and you're going to resist as you pull to one side. And then same thing the other direction. So now we are working internal rotation and external rotation all at the same time, left arm, right arm. And for me, this is just a lot more time efficient than trying to do one arm at a time. Because think about it, you do your left arm, you have to do internal rotation, then turn around, do external rotation, and then do the right side. So it takes 4 times as long as this. So this is an easier way to do it, to be able to integrate into your workout every day without making it a big thing. Let's do a couple more. And since we're doing shoulders, this is a nice way to get them fired up. You should start to feel them with this. There we go. All right. Do some arm circles here. Nice kind of exaggerated movement, nice and slow. We're going to go forward with these. That's 5, 6. Go to at least 12. Let's do one more, and then we're going to reverse it. We're going to go backwards. There's 8. Let's do 4 more. Nice. Let's just go ahead and put our hands together, arms overhead, nice little stretch. Bring it to the side. And then arm across the body. Just loosen up just a little bit here. All right. We're going to move into our first exercise. We're going down to the ground. You can throw down a mat if you want to. These are going to be a pike push-up. So think about like a diver. They do a pike. So what we're trying to do is change the angle of the press. So if we were doing a regular push-up, right, this is the angle of the press, primarily working the chest. We are working some anterior delts, but what we're going to do is make this a little bit more like a shoulder press. So let me turn sideways so you can see positioning here. So sticking our butt up, bringing our feet closer here. And now, as we press down, this looks more like a shoulder press. So we want to do nice controlled tempo here. That's what's going to make these more challenging. We're going to slow down with a 2-second negative or eccentric and a 2-second concentric push. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, halfway, 7, 8, 9. If you want, go a little wider. Don't go too narrow with your hand position. Otherwise, you'll end up using a lot more triceps. Let's do 1 more. Nice. Oh, you like that clean version of that. Nice. All right, so 90 seconds rest between all our sets, pretty much throughout this 16 weeks. So hop up, get your stretch on, grab a drink of water, and you get right back to it. No time to waste here. So we're going to go into set 2. Before I start, what I was talking about is if your hands are too close together, same thing like if we were doing diamond push-ups, this ends up being a lot of movement at the elbow, which makes this a little more triceps dominant here. So we don't want to put our hands too close together as we do these, because then it'll end up looking like this. So we want to go ahead, go wider with the hands and let the elbows flare out a little to the sides. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, feeling it, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. There we go. So starting off this program with calisthenics movements only, this is just to establish a foundation so we can ease back into this and progress week over week as we move toward an advanced weight training routine. But one of the good lessons about this is that it doesn't take a lot of resistance to really light those shoulders up. They're not huge muscles. Deltoids are actually relatively small. So even doing this with that controlled rep speed or that time under tension, you'll feel a really good burn here. So when we do eventually transition into weights, we don't have to sling super heavy weight to build big shoulders. You just have to use a little bit better form, a little bit more control to boost the intensity, as opposed to just relying on the resistance level to create the intensity. All right, I'm gonna grab a drink of water. We'll do our third set here. Just a reminder, get your water. All right, so one more before we move on. We're gonna move to, after this, to some side raises or lateral raises, which targets more of your middle delt. All right, here we go. Like I said, go a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. One, two, three, 4, 5. There's halfway. 7, 8. 4 more. 9, 10. 2 more. Nice. Feeling those. Same thing, arms overhead. Stretch it out. Nice. So we're moving into a lateral raise, which is an isolation exercise. So a lot of your calisthenics bodyweight only exercises are compound movements like we just did, right? You're using more than one joint. So in that case, elbow, shoulder. You get into a lateral raise, that's an isolation exercise because now we're just working one joint. Well, it's a little more challenging with body weight. My hands aren't that heavy. They don't create a lot of resistance. So you can use household items if you want. You know, grab something light. I recommend not going too heavy with these. You don't need to. But we're gonna do a little hack here. I'm actually gonna jump right here and grab our towel. And all you're gonna do is create a little bit of resistance with the opposite arm. So we're gonna focus on one arm at a time. And we're gonna only come to right about parallel with the floor. You'll see people doing really exaggerated movements with these, and they're coming all the way up here, but this makes no sense. It's not a natural range of motion. I want you to think about this for a second. If I asked you to pick something up out to the side, you would naturally probably maybe pick it up to about here. After this, if you had to go higher with it, you would transition and you would press it overhead. What activity in the world where we do this? It just doesn't make any sense. We're not really designed that way. It's not a very strong position. So I like to stick to more natural ranges of motion. Makes more sense, especially from an injury prevention piece. So here we go. Creating resistance with the left arm, we're gonna do our right. And I wanna start the range of motion right here, not too far out. I want resistance starting here. It's 1. Control that rep speed. About 2 and 2. Call this a 2-0-2 count. 4. 5. It's not my favorite Eminem song, like I say. Sound like, yeah, a really bad day. There's 10. One more. I'm feeling these. Nice. So we want to transition right away. We don't want wasting time. Do the opposite. And here you can create as much resistance as you want. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, he's starting to get on my nerves. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One more. Nice. There's 12. You can do some light circles here just to loosen up. Same thing. Arm across the body. Arms overhead. I'm going to put a lot of emphasis on mobility throughout this entire program, right? We don't want to just look good. We want to feel good. We want our joints and all our connective tissue to be healthy and to be strong. So we're going to spend an equal amount of time stretching in between sets as we spend in the set shortening or contracting a muscle. There's got to be a balance between the two. All right, let me grab a drink of water. We'll move to set 2. And hopefully, Eminem finishes up with his song. Making me aggravated. Okay. I guess Eminem made a whole career off of being pissed off, though. Here we go. 1. If you wanted to, you could even honestly come over the other side. We'll try this set. All right, so that counts as 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. There's 8. All right, let's do 4 more. 9. 10. 11. There's 12. So if you're wondering how that compares to maybe say doing dumbbell raises, you can create as much intensity as you want there. You're creating your own resistance. So those are actually hard. Those set my shoulders on fire. All right. So we got one more set of these, and then we're going to move on after that. I'm going to show you some options for a body weight shrug. Work on those traps. All right, let's do this. I actually kind of like working both. We'll stick to that. 1, 2. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 4 more each arm. 9. 10. 11. 12. Nice. Whew. Good stuff. All right, loosen them up. Stretch them out. All right, so shrugs. Working our traps. You got to remember though, our traps do more than just raise our shoulders. They also help pull our shoulder blades back. The trapezius is called that because it's shaped almost like a trapezoid. So it's a very big muscle fibers running in different directions. So it's doing more than just one thing. As opposed to say biceps, it's simple, right? They only work in one direction. So the point is that there's more than just this. There's also squeezing backwards. And so this one works the traps from a couple different angles. And so you can do these maybe holding on to an edge of a table, whatever you have. I'm looking around the gym here. I think probably grabbing this rack here is going to make most sense for me. Maybe right here. Let's try it out here. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean back and then I'm going to shrug up and back at the same time. So you see I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, and it doesn't look like they're lifting a lot, but I'm getting a strong isometric contraction as I imagine shrugging my shoulders up closer towards my ears. You can see it here right at the end. All right. See, there's that shrug up. So shoulder blades together and squeeze up. Nine, 10. There's 12. Nice. So I like to do the exact opposite of whatever we're doing. So if we're shortening the muscle, contracting, right, then I want to do the opposite to get a light stretch. So that's where I would come in here, hold on to something, and just gently go the opposite direction. Same thing on the other side. And then since we're pulling those shoulder blades together, we come in here and give them a nice stretch. Feel those shoulder blades or your scapula open up. If you had, say, a bar, maybe you're in the gym, a Smith machine, you can lower it down. That would be an easy one. Like I said, whatever is secure enough that you can hold on to it and lean back, put a little bit of your body weight into it, because that's what we're using here, right? These are body weight only calisthenics movements, so we're using our body weight to create the resistance. So we're doing that by leaning backwards. Okay, we're gonna go again. So you see I'm trying to tuck my feet forward here. So we're pulling ourselves forward, not with our arms, we're pulling ourselves forward by squeezing those shoulder blades together, right? Pulling our shoulders back and then squeezing up. Oop. That would have hurt. Ten. Two more. One more. There we go. Nice. Go ahead and stretch it out. So we got one more set of these. Next week, we're going to take this foundation that we've set here with our workout split and with some of these basic movements, but we're going to incorporate resistance bands in there to create resistance. And that'll be stage 2 as we progress, like I said, into a weight training routine. But what I think is beneficial is having this stuff in your arsenal, knowing how to get a workout in if you have zero equipment. You don't have bands, you don't have anything. How do you do it with body weight only? Then, like I said, if you have a set of bands, you can travel with them. No matter what, you can get a really, really effective workout in. And then eventually progressing, how do you integrate bands with weights? And again, all the way to an advanced weight training routine only. Okay, one more, and then we're gonna do some front raises. All right, here we go. So this last part right here, I'm pulling up. Like I said, imagine trying to shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. So it's more of an isometric contraction right here. There's 9. 10. Well, I guess if you're an M&M fan, today was your playlist. All right, same thing, light stretch. So front raises, anterior delts, right? That's the front of the shoulder. Now, when you're doing a lot of pressing movements, chest press, whether it's a bar or dumbbell, even with bands, anytime we press to the front, that's not just chest, that's also going to be anterior delt. So most people aren't lacking in anterior delt development, but it's not a bad practice to go ahead and work all these muscles. So that's where your front raise comes in. It doesn't need to be exaggerated. Right here, again, kind of the same philosophy. In what application other than maybe painting a wall or something would you come out from here and do this? You know, if you had to come out here, you would then press it up. So stick to a more natural range of motion. Two ways we can do this. You can do this body weight only because our arms are heavy enough to get somewhat of a burn. You don't want to do it standing. Me personally, I don't think there's quite enough resistance here. I like a little more at the peak. So leaning forward, you can do a nice slow count right to there and control it on the way down. But I like a little more resistance, so we're going to go back to our towel. Same trick we did with our lateral raises. Now we're just doing this with a front raise. So we're going to focus on one arm at a time. So grabbing the towel pretty close together. There we go, just one arm at a time. And control those rep speeds. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to turn to you so you can see what this looks like from the front. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow, good. I'm going to switch right away, the other side. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more. There we go. Nice. So we got 2 more sets of these after this. Now we're also going to tack on here, if you downloaded the PDF, which by the way, it's free, so you can follow along. People are like, why'd you make it free? Well, I'm doing the series for myself. This is my 16-week journey. Figured, give you guys the opportunity to follow along. So I've made the PDF available for free. It's linked in the description below. But if you look at the PDF for this workout, there's nothing for calves. But on leg day, we didn't do any calves. So calves kind of fit with shoulders. It's an easy day to squeeze them in. So we're just going to be doing some standing single leg calf raises here at the very end. And that'll be the end of our workout. So let's jump in. Let's knock shoulders out here. We're going to go right back into these front raises. I said 90 seconds rest goes by quick. You don't want to fiddle fuck around in your workout. It's not just a matter of time. It's a matter of intensity. When you rest too long, intensity level goes down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10. We're gonna do 2 more. One more. Yeah. Other side. Eight. 4 more. 9. 10. One more. Now, when it comes to doing front raises, you know, bands or dumbbells, a lot of times I'll have people ask what my thoughts are on hand position. You'll see people that like to do palms down. This was more traditional. Some people like to go thumbs up. Some people do this, you know, thumbs down approach. My best advice is you got to see what feels natural. So a lot of tendons running in here, a lot of things crisscrossing in there. So we don't want anything binding up. If you feel something clicking and clacking and it feels uncomfortable, don't do it. Find a natural range of motion. Do it without any kind of resistance, you know? See how it feels moving through this with palm down. See how it feels, you know, doing a thumb down like this. I don't like this. It's uncomfortable for me. Don't particularly care for this one either. So I know that doesn't sound like the most scientific thing, but you got to learn to listen to your body. If your body's telling you it doesn't like it, then fuck, man, listen. All right. Here we go. Another Eminem track. Don't get me wrong, I like a lot of Eminem songs, just not all of them. There's 2. Hey, 4 more. There's 9. 2 more. There it is. There's 12. Other side. One more. 9, 10, 11. There it is. Nice. All right, stretch it out. Oh, man. That's a good shoulder workout. I gotta tell you. You do that the right way. I mean, it's highly effective. Don't let anyone tell you any different. All right, so that was the last shoulder exercise. So we're gonna knock out, real quick, some standing calf raises. You don't have to elevate your toes if you don't want to, but you do get a much nicer contraction when you do. So whatever you have, some sort of block. And all we want to do, very light stretch. Don't feel like you're trying to force your heel down to the ground. If it feels like an extreme stretch, don't do it. Again, common sense, right? Oh, crossing the other foot to the back. We don't want to pull with his hand. We're just balancing. So 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. Very light stretch, no bounce at the bottom. Nice controlled, smooth contraction. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nice. Now you hear me talk a lot about throughout this program, smooth and controlled. You know, we have a lot of connective tissue that does have some give to it, some stretch, but you don't want to abuse that. You know, I always think of like when my dad would try to scare me as a kid, and he would take his belt and he would fold it in half, and then he would like press it together, create like a little loop, and he would snap it, make a loud cracking sound. Well, almost think of your connective tissue. If you're, you know, snapping it all the time with these aggressive, jerky movements, you're just going to put all that wear and tear on it. And I don't give a shit who you are. At some point, either early on in your training or later on, whatever the case is, you're going to pay the price for it. And usually it comes in the form of tendonitis at first. So just mild pain, inflammation, and that get worse over time. And you do that long enough, that connective tissue starts to weaken, gets brittle, and that's where you end up getting ruptures. Like I know too many people that have had Achilles tendon tears, biceps tendon tears, like you go down the list. There's 6. We're gonna do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 1 more. Nice. Now, I'm just doing 1 set of these. You're more than welcome to do more. You can do 3 sets of them. Get a nice light stretch there in the calf in between. Just elevate your toes. You can even put it up against a wall if you want to. Nice straight leg. A little bit of a light lean into it. Definitely important to stretch those calves. Keep them loose. Because all that travels. Tight calves can turn into tight hamstrings, can turn into tight glutes, and then you get this big tug of war. Everything down here is pulling down on the back of our pelvis, and you start to get a lot of strain there in the low back. And that's where a lot of people's low back pain originates from. So we've got to spend some time here working on stretching, keeping those muscles nice and limber. So that is our workout. Let me just double check, make sure that I'm not missing anything. No, that's a wrap. So that's day 4. This technically is a 5-day split every week. So Monday is going to be chest and triceps. Tuesday's back and biceps. Wednesday's an active rest day. I want you to go out, do some light intensity cardio, whether that's walking, elliptical, bike riding, whatever you want to do. Thursday, we're going to come back. We're going to do legs, then, and also abs. And then we've got our shoulder workout here. So Saturdays are a total body workout. You'll download the PDF. It's a little bit lighter work, you know, just focus on good form. The purpose is not just to go in there and to work all those muscle groups a second time. A lot of the purpose is to go in there and get the body moving again. And in my experience over my 33 years of training, it really even helps with that recovery process as well. So the goal for Saturday isn't to kill ourselves necessarily, but to go in there and work all those core muscle groups one more time during the week. Also, it's going to help us burn a little bit more calories. But as far as these videos, we're just going to be doing the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So Saturday, you're going to be on your own. So hopefully you download the PDF. Again, check the link in the description. Go do the workouts yourself, hold yourself accountable. And I will see you on Monday's workout, where, just to confirm, it's been a little bit since I wrote this. Yep, that's going to be introduction into resistance bands. So if you don't have a set of bands, I've said it before, you know, these that I've been using, that's a company that I have, Under Sun Fitness. Don't feel obligated to buy mine. Go buy whatever bands you want. Go to Amazon, wherever. You know, I do recommend obviously looking for a quality set, invest in something that's going to last. But we're going to be using the loop style resistance bands. If you have the ones, the tube style with handles, we can make those work as well. So use whatever you have. But I will see you on Monday, and we're going to do it all over again.